Welcome back. All right, so yeah, I'm gonna get this right out of the way because I know this is what people are gonna be talking about. Jake Evans gets absolutely smoked in this game. Does Scheifele deserve a suspension? Absolutely. Mark Scheifele's one of my favorite players in the league. I've been a fan of his in Winnipeg for a long time. That hit tonight has to be suspended. I don't care if he doesn't have a previous record. You look at his play during the game, and to me, he's noteworthy on the board, not for great reasons. So, 9 days of rest for the Jets, and it showed. It showed early, and this is why when a team sweeps another team, and they're up against a team that had a hard-fought seven-game series, it does not necessarily mean that the team that had the sweep in the previous round has an easy time of it in the next round. And again, I wanted to do a historical video on that a couple years ago, but there were so many different series, and it was then I was like, okay, there's another way to look at this, and then I just ended up abandoning it with half the notes done. Eventually, I will do that this summer. So the Dano line starts, and it starts against the Lowry line. The Habs had a 3-on-2 that fizzled out, but at 3 minutes and 30 seconds in, Kotkaniemi scores for Montreal from Petrie and Gustafsson. So that's on the first shot. It's a perfect deflection. It was a shot pass by Petrie. So what's interesting tonight, too, is that Montreal, a team that could not get their defense on the score sheet against Toronto, had no problem getting their defense on the score sheet tonight against Winnipeg. So things get kind of happy, slappy at the Jets net, 4:19 in. DeMello wasn't on the Jets bench, would not be in the rest of the game, so they were down to 5 defensemen. And if DeMello misses other games in this series, that definitely hurts the Jets. Armia then tried to jam one in as the Habs press. Jets are kind of rusty, and then Stahl scores from Perry and Edmondson at 5 minutes and 10 seconds. That's the fifth shot by Montreal, taking advantage of a Jets team that looked sleepy. The Jets only had one shot to that point in the game, and then the Jets would get a power play. The Habs would kill that off. But there were 3 shots for the Jets on that power play. Later they changed it to 4, so 3 or 4. The Jets did wake up during that power play. So it felt like, okay, now it's a little bit more even. Much better play by the Jets after the power play's done. They announced then, too, that DeMello would not return to the game. 5 defensemen from here on. Kopp fires one wide. Gallagher then had a wraparound attempt. The Habs go to the power play. During that power play, Lowry gets one, and he scores shorthanded breakaway goal, 11:52, unassisted. And it felt like the Jets really badly needed that goal. That this was a game that could get really ugly and out of control in favor of Montreal, and they needed that goal. The Jets finished the kill off. There was only one shot for Montreal during that power play, right? The Habs pressed after it ended. Price denies a Wheeler chance. Armia would clear it out. Connor was stopped by Price. The Jets pressed with 3.5 minutes left. And here's the thing. The Jets had a really good shift. The puck comes out and it goes in their net. Suzuki scores a fast break goal from Edmondson and Caulfield at 17:14. He outweights Hellebuck. It was a beautiful goal by Suzuki, my favorite member of Montreal. This is a Carey Price, but just because that was on sale on the Adidas site. So, yeah, that was the 11th shot of the game for Montreal against Winnipeg. The Habs scored, but they decided no, that was a goalie interference penalty to Kotkaniemi. And this was where I thought, you know what? It was this close to being 4-1. That has to wake the Jets up. They have to play better. Scheifele was denied. There was then a shorthanded 2-on-1. Evans would hit the post, so they still almost made it 4-1. So we go to the second period with it 3-1. Early chance for Wheeler. Price makes saves. Better start for the Jets. Perreault gets dinged up on a shot block. It went off the inside of his knee. That looked like it hurt. He would come back into the game, though. Stanley fires one wide, and then Price saved the next shot that came in at him. And then there was some Kamira minute going on with the guys out there. The Habs press at 4.5 minutes. The Jets cleared it out. The Habs defense was keeping the Jets to the outside, and this is such a simple factor with all defenses in these playoff series. Keep them to the outside. Keep them to the outside. And they were doing that very well. The Jets had a 2-on-1. Perreault was denied on that. The shots were 7-2 in favor of the Jets at the 7-minute mark. But, things do start to turn around. The Jets' turnovers were what was turning it around in favor of Montreal. It just felt like when they had the puck, they were close to coughing it up. So even though they're ahead in shots, there were still a lot of noteworthy turnovers going on here. They were recovering from them, but don't do that. The Jets go to the power play. Kotkaniemi's right back in the box. He didn't do anything to go to the box, but he goes to the box. It's pretty bad when there's a play and both players look at the ref like one of us is going to the box, and yeah, that's what happened. Strong penalty kill by the Habs though, and then Lowry gets hit in the ear with a puck while he's on the bench, so he would leave and come back later. Habs finished off the kill. Caulfield had a chance that was stopped. Suzuki then misses wide. The Habs had a 2-on-1 that misfired, and it felt like another goal would end this. That if Montreal gets that fourth goal, then that was going to be the end of it. Let me just move this back. Just so there we go. That's fine. That'll work. So yeah, Suzuki misses wide, misfire, another goal would end it, and then Byron was denied as the Habs were pressing, with 3 minutes left, and we're still seeing turnovers by the Jets, leading to pressure by the Habs. Edmondson had a point shot saved, which led to some you come here a minute after that. Lowry would return. Armia had a break. Hellebuck makes the save, and that was on a turnover as well. Anderson then had a backhander saved with 1 minute and 5 seconds left, and then there's some unhappiness at the horn. Some more of that, you come here a minute. You come here a minute. So we go to the third period, still 3-1 for Montreal. So very good road period by Montreal. They weathered the storm from Winnipeg, and they did quite well. And it looked like a trap to start the third period, that they were just going to defend, keep everything to the outside. Pionk defends a Caulfield chance. Stanley then net crashed his own goaltender, which is an interesting strategy. I don't know that that's a great strategy, but it's an interesting one. The Habs press at the 4-minute mark. Great road game by the Habs. Stanley then fires one wide. His next shot was blocked. Connor was then denied by Price, but eventually they get one, and it's Forbert. Scoring from Dubois and Perreault at 9 minutes and 22 seconds. Fired at top corner. Nice goal. Toffoli then gets chances as the Habs tried to answer on a power play, and I thought, the Jets have to kill this off, and they don't. It is Gallagher on the power play from Weber and Petrie at 11:04, and that just takes the wind out of their sails right there. And it was on a rebound after a Weber breakaway. I don't know how many breakaways Shea Weber's had. I don't think it's that many, though. I have a feeling it's not really a common thing with Shea Weber to get breakaways. Hellebuck then failed to hold on to that one as well. So Hellebuck kind of thought he had it and he didn't. I thought that does it. The Habs press with 7.5 minutes left. Scheifele, it's right here. Scheifele fired up a lot in the unfriendly parts of this. There were at least 2 or 3 different scrums in this game where Scheifele had his helmet off and he was losing his mind. He was upset and angry and ticked. And in this one, he's the only one that gets a penalty. And you're thinking, all right, now cool down. Just cool. He didn't. So the Jets kill it off, but you can see him in the box, anxious to get up. I got to get on the ice. We got to come back. And that kind of energy can be great. It can also be really dangerous. So with 2:25 left, they pull the goalie, and they do score to make it close. Kyle Connor from Ehlers and Pionk at 18:18. So they pull the goalie again with 1 minute and 25 seconds left. The empty net goal is Evans from Toffoli and Stahl at 19:03. Not what anybody's talking about. What people are talking about is as Evans puts the puck in, Scheifele comes in and just flattens him. And it is an ugly hit. It is a full speed. They could call that charging. They could call it, there's a number of things you could call that. There was direct contact to the head. I've seen people say shoulder to shoulder. I saw head contact directly. And then as he basically backwards cartwheels through the air and lands head down on the ice. It was so ugly, and they showed it from 4 different angles. Just don't. The EMS crews on the ice, doctors for both teams are on the ice. Nick Ehlers is a hero in this situation, that during the scrumminess that follows this, he blocked off everybody, including his own players, to make sure nobody fell on Evans while he's down on the ice, because Evans was face down on the ice. So Ehlers did his best, and he was also the one that motioned the doctors over, including his own. So props to Nick Ehlers for understanding that trying to destroy somebody probably isn't the best way to go about this. And you could see that Shea Weber was just choked. I believe he looked at the Jets bench and said, "Are you kidding me?" And I can't argue with that. Like, I understand that Scheifele's upset that, the game's over on that, but it's not like he tried to poke the puck away so it didn't go in the net. He was going in to flatten Evans, and he did. And so he gets thrown out of the game. It's a major. It doesn't matter. The Habs weren't trying to score, and none of that matters. What matters is hopefully Jake Evans is okay. As he was taken off the ice on the stretcher, he was moving his hands. He touched his face. He was still moving around okay. Again, I don't know the nature of the injury. I know they immobilized the neck. That's standard in that kind of a situation where you know there's been head trauma, and hopefully he's all right. But if we find out he doesn't remember anything after that hit, that wouldn't surprise me either. So almost the underline of this is that Montreal wins the game. They win 5-3. They go up 1-0. They steal home ice from Winnipeg. It took Winnipeg most of that first period to break out of whatever rust they had left over from the Edmonton series, and now they're behind 1-0. The shots in this one, 12-11 in favor of Montreal in the first, 11-9 Winnipeg in the second, 12-8 Montreal in the third. Final shots, 33-30 for the Habs. Power plays, Montreal goes 1 for 4, Winnipeg 0 for 3. Hits, 42-24 for Winnipeg. Winnipeg was very physical all night. Again, sort of riding that line throughout parts of tonight too. Block shots were 11-9 in favor of Montreal. Carey Price saves 27 out of 30. It's right here, number 31, Carey Price. I didn't think he had a great game, and they win. And that's the more dangerous thing if you're looking at this from a Montreal perspective. He didn't even have a great game, and they won. Hellebuck saves 28 out of 32 at the other end. And again, you can look at that fourth goal and say, if he held on to that, but he didn't. So the Jets are down a game, and they have to be down Scheifele for the next game. I don't see how that's not a suspension. I don't know how many games he's out, but Edmondson's already been quoted basically as saying if he comes back into this series, we're going to deal with it. Careful with that, because that kind of talk means that if something then happens to Scheifele, the NHL can come back and say this is premeditated, and then you may end up with an even bigger deal with player safety than you otherwise would. So a series that should be this free-flowing, really fun series between two underdogs has gotten very ugly very quickly, and we'll see whether or not Game 2 follows in this pattern. And remember, Games 3 and 4 are back-to-backs. So if this becomes a really ugly series, that could make it even more amped up than it already is. But Montreal gets the win, and hopefully Jake Evans isn't out as long as it looked like from that hit he might end up being. But let me know your thoughts in the comments section below as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. And again, Scheifele's one of my favorite players, but that is unforgivable, and I can't come up with a reasoning for it. It was the kind of hit that you do not want to see in the game. It's the kind of thing we do not want to have in hockey. So again, hopefully Evans is okay, and Department of Player Safety deals with this tomorrow. So we'll see. Let me know your thoughts. Hit like and subscribe, as 195,000 people have. It's an incredible number. Thank you guys so much for helping me get over that. It was a great live stream today. Really enjoyed that. We will be having more of those now that the season's getting a little bit lighter in the schedule. So look for that. And hey, thank you guys so much for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.